ndifuna uziva nane makuganiza ushechili unikonda iwe. I was so lucky so ona unanivomela but still more is too much. Sinine chisimbi nina ma feeling inaine chimani baba sometimes. Sinine chimwala awe olo chimutengo chamango.
Oh baby landa mune iwo kalali la filionse amuna go back up and uziko wewe limbikile umozi. Oh baby landa mune iwo kalali la filionse amuna go back up and uziko wewe limbikile umozi.
Foolish me, elelo naziletelela. Foolish me, elelo naziletelela. Mama elelo naziletelela. Foolish me, elelo naziletelela. Mama
Kakabalika nobe we mono kuvina makumbiwe. Kakabalika nobe chetekela mwandiwe. Kakabalika nobe we mono kuvina makumbiwe. Kakabalika nobe chetekela mwandiwe.
iwe master wanga wameno manipunzisa vochita ukagamba chita soniza chita songa nipe hapo nishinipe hapo iwe piano yanga wameno manipunzisa vokiza na kashuni kafundo na sauzive kachepino.
When they say the truth is bitter, well, we make facts funny. Right here, we talk about everything you need to know. Out with the old and in with the new. This is Fun Facts, only on Sunshine TV. When they say the truth is bitter, well, we make facts funny. Right?
Hello, good morning. Welcome to yet another exciting episode of Fun Facts. Of course, hoping you're having yourself a beautiful morning. Lovely good morning to you who is watching. A lovely good morning to you who's always tuned in. This is Sunshine TV, and of course, you know we are bringing you those things that you need to actually just get knowing. Today is another exciting episode and another intriguing and thought-provoking episode that we are just going to have, and of course, we're just going to get to discuss something that is really, really important and something that maybe most of the people overlook, and it's something that is very, very cardinal, and we are just going to look at it and of course just exhaust it. Otherwise, I am your host Clarence, and of course good morning to you. Good morning and good morning. Tell somebody that Fun Facts is on, and of course we are actually getting it rolling like that. Hope you are enjoying yourself. Hope you're enjoying Sunshine TV. Thank you so very much for being a part of Sunshine TV. Thank you very much for following and liking and subscribing to our channel. Thank you very much that every time we are on, you are always just locked on. Otherwise, it's Thursday, and of course you know how Thursday goes about. We actually talk fun facts every morning, and it's just like that. Yes. So yeah, we're going to get started. Of course, if somebody is not yet on, tell them, say, hey, Fun Facts is on. Like, okay, let them wake up, and of course, let's get talking together. You can still get interactive with us, of course, through our YouTube channel, that is Sunshine TV, and of course, you get your comments there. And on Facebook, it's the same thing. It's Sunshine Studios. Of course, you can still get your thoughts and your comments like that, and we'll be able to read them live and direct, and we'll get interactive and just talking like that. So yeah, it's very important. Now, have you ever been in a situation where you are always given opportunities? You always have opportunities. You always have brilliant opportunities that come your way, and down the line those opportunities don't even materialize. They don't stay. A situation where you have something valuable, but then that something just doesn't stay. I'm sure you've been in those shoes, and maybe you know somebody who's been in those shoes. There, ways you have good people come your way, but they don't come to stay. You have good people that will give you good connections, but then those connections don't stay even when you have them. Been there, right? Oh, you were in luck, because that's what we're talking about today. Now, today's fun fact is something very simple but very detailed. Your attitude towards life determines your altitude. Your attitudes towards life, your own attitude towards life determines your altitude. So what we are talking about, what we are going to be talking about today, is how does my attitude affect my life? How do my attitudes affect each and everything around me? We're going to talk about that in a very short while, but otherwise the tagline for today is my attitudes, how attitudes affect your life, or rather your attitudes towards life determines your altitude. Now, your altitude is just the altitude is just like the output. So attitude is input, and then output is altitude. So how far you are going to go, or how far you're going to reach, or how high you are going to reach, is determined by the input, which is the attitude. Now, it's very important that we get understanding basics before we actually get to the more complicated things. So we are going to just get understanding attitudes. Of course, I know there is a very slight and shady difference between an attitude and a behavior, which we're going to also just get to look at, so that we don't get confused as we actually get to unfold. So basically, attitudes, these are set of beliefs, emotions, or ideas or behaviors that are set towards something. A set of ideas, a set of feelings, a set of beliefs towards something. These are just set of beliefs. This set of beliefs, a set of emotions, how you're feeling at that point, or how you believe towards something. That is your attitude. It's very important. It's very, very important. So in simpler terms, what we're saying an attitude is how somebody feels, or how somebody interprets things at the moment. And then as into a behavior is something very different. A behavior is how somebody acts towards how they feel. Please get the difference before we actually get rolling in today's conversation. A behavior is just how somebody acts towards what they feel. So in simpler terms, in this case, we are going to put an attitude as a feeling, or attitude as your mood at the moment. Okay, I'm just giving a very well elaborated example. An attitude is like a feeling, or like your mood at that point, and then how you are going to act because of that mood, or because of that behavior, or because of how you are going to act because of that mood or that feeling, is now your behavior. So because I feel down today because maybe yesterday Zambia didn't perform well. Moreover, anyway, we're going to talk about Zambia in a bit. But yeah, because I feel Zambia didn't perform well, and I'm a soccer fan, I'm not really well emotionally. Maybe I'm just distorted. If somebody comes to me and says something, if I'm going to insult them, then it means I've got a bad behavior. People are going to paint me to have a bad behavior. Not because I have a bad behavior, because at that point, my attitudes towards everything around me was bad. So a feeling is an attitude in this case, and then how you act towards that feeling is a behavior. Very important that we get elaborating that. So we're talking about a set of beliefs, a set of behaviors, of course, that are actually influential towards something, as it to being an attitude. Why is it important that we actually understand what this attitude is? I mean, we could just not talk about it, but it's important that we understand, because we are living with this thing on a daily basis. you've had opportunities that have come and gone because your attitude is just so bad. You can be intellectually active, you can be very brilliant with ideas, and you can be very, very accurate when it comes to doing something, but when your attitudes towards that thing is bad or is poor, then you are at a verge of losing that thing. It might be a connection, it might be a relation, it might be anything. For as long as your attitudes is not worked on, then it means you are towards a dead end. That's how important it is. So it's very important that we get to understand these things. So attitude is very, very important. How I'm going to feel about something, how I'm going to feel about about what I'm doing, is going to determine how much I am putting in to actually get the output. Hence, the fun fact for today is your attitudes in life determines your altitude. So how much you put in is like how much you get out. It's the more you put, the more you get out. It's important that we invest on attitudes. It's important we invest on attitudes. A lot of people are going to tell you skills and are going to give you practical things, but then the aspect of attitudes and behaviors towards work or anything is literally neglected. It's like you are told how to use a hoe when you are in the garden, but then you're not told how to fix or work on the hoe when on the axe or anything that you're going to use on your tools. You are not told how to service them. This is how it's like. It's like you're taught how to farm. It's like you're taught how to use an axe, but you are never taught how to handle that axe in case it has a breakdown. So what happens when it has a breakdown? Then it means work shuts. What happens when today I don't feel like going for work? Attitude is very important. What happens if I'm in a bad mood but I have to report for work? Attitude is very important. Very, very important. What happens if things are not moving on things are not moving well with me as a person, but then I have to also be at work? Does it mean my work has to suffer? Attitude, very, very important. Very important. You'd find very, very a very well educated person, very intellectually active, very upright, but immediately you talk to them and maybe how they approach you, you even tend to like, you know what, I don't think they know what they're doing. I don't think they know what they're doing. I'm not trying to attack any profession, please, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to say this as an example. Like the way the notion people have towards nurses. People just think nurses are bad people. Why? Because of maybe the reception you get when you go to a hospital, maybe because of that. It's attitude. It's very, very important. Very, very important. Attitude. Attitude sets systems. No wonder when you're working in a very big organization, what they tend to look at is a system, because a system will govern you on how your attitudes should actually be going. So they will tell you immediately maybe somebody comes in, you greet them, you talk to them nicely. When you're doing a PR, they will tell you, immediately somebody walks in, you talk to them politely, regardless of if you've eaten or not, if you are happy on that day or not, you have to deliver. But most of us neglect the aspect of attitude. We just want to do. So on some days we don't do well because of how we are feeling, and then on some days we want to overdo things because of how we are feeling. It's very, very important and very cardinal that we understand the aspect, because of your attitudes, because of your thoughts, because of your beliefs towards them, because of how you feel and how you're acting towards those things that you're feeling at that moment. Jobs are going to come and jobs are going to go because you've not cultivated an attitude. Very, very important. Attitude, very, very important. So now let's get to just look at some attitudes. Of course, we've got attitudes. So there are different attitudes. There are actually 4 different attitudes that are classified in human psychology. But then I want to just look at 2 for today, and then maybe in the other in the next episode we're going to actually get to exhaust all of them. So there is what we call an optimistic attitude, or rather a positive attitude. This is an attitude, it's positive attitude. So this is where somebody just is very very ambitious, very positive about something, very positive about life itself, very positive about surrounding, very positive. These people are not in any way at a point where you're going to find them doubting things. They're always positive. So it's a component of attitudes, and these things are things that you nurture over the years. I know environment has got a different way in how it shapes our attitudes towards life and all that the kind of thing. But then attitude is something that you can work on. This is something that you can build on. This is something that you can work on, and of course we're going to know how you can work on it and how you can best improve it. But the optimistic attitude is one component of attitude. Of course, this is just the positive attitudes towards life, towards your feelings, towards your environment, towards anything around you. I've heard people say this thing, and people like saying this. They'll tell you, the reason why I'm a bad person, it's because I was raised in a bad environment. Well, that is very true, but also the opposite is true. You choose to be that bad person, not because you were raised in a bad place. There are people that have been raised in bad places that have turned out to work on their attitudes, and then they are good people. You decide on how you work on it. So attitude is something that can be worked on. Attitude is built over the years. Attitude is something that of course you can have it a bad attitude, but it can be changed. Same like a behavior, it starts with an attitude. So a behavior is something that we can change, not overnight. It's a process. Behavior change is a process, but of course we know it is very possible. It's possible to change. It's possible to have a good behavior. It's very possible also to cultivate a good attitude. These are things that should be at the back of our minds. We have to be people that are learning to cultivate good behaviors. So we are talking about positive attitude, which is an optimistic attitude, optimistic component of attitude. Of course, let me go on a short commercial, on a very short break, and then once we come back, we get exhausting the other types of other types of attitudes, and we get rolling with our topic. We are talking about your attitudes towards life determines your altitude. We'll be right back.
This is Fun Facts, only on Sunshine TV. When they say the truth is bitter, well, we make facts funny. Right here, we talk about everything you need to know. Out with the old and in with the new. This is Fun Facts, only on Sunshine TV.
You are still watching Fun Facts, only on Sunshine TV.
And we are back. Welcome back. Thank you very much for still staying with us, and of course thank you very much for still just keeping it locked. Tell somebody that Fun Facts is on, and we are actually talking about your attitudes towards life determines your altitude. It's very important. Now we're talking about altitude being the output of everything, being the result, and your attitude being the input, being the things that you're putting in to get that good harvest. So if your attitude is very poor, then we know that you are going to get poor results at the end of the day. If your attitude is worked on, and of course you are going to actually get something very beneficial at the end of the day. You can still get your thoughts, your comments, and of course your queries through to our YouTube channel, that is Sunshine TV, and of course we'll get talking like that. On Facebook it's Sunshine Studios, and we still are going to get interactive like that. Let's know what you're thinking, let's know how you are thinking about what we're talking about today, and of course we are going to get sharing like that, and we're going to just get to have an amazing time together and just discovering things that we actually get to actually talk about right here. So we were talking about the positivity aspect of an attitude, which is the optimistic attitude. So this is just a positive way of looking at things and looking at life. Life will always happen, and I think we've always talked about this. Life will always happen. Life will always happen, either bad or good. But your attitude towards life is something that you can work on. Bad attitudes can still be changed to be good attitudes. You can still do that. Life can toss you to and from. A lot of people that are good people, a lot of people that have got a positive mentality or a positive attitude, don't really come from a place where it was all rosy. That is something you should know. People that are always positive with life and positive about everything, it's not that they came from a very rosy place. They also even came from a very thorny place, but then they decided to work on that attitude, because you understand that in life you need a positive attitude for you to actually go somewhere, because a negative attitude just gets you limited to somewhere. You are going to lose a lot of things because you do not work on your attitudes, because you do not work and nurture your attitude. It's very, very important. It's very, very cardinal that we get to understand attitude and how far it goes in life. It's going to make you lose a lot of opportunities. A lot of things are going to pass you by because you've got a bad attitude. People are going to name you because of how you react at some point, or how you behave. Why? Because of attitude. It's very, very important. Hurt people, it's very true, but also hurt people can learn how to become better people so that they don't hurt the other one because they've been hurt themselves. It's very important. So the other part of attitude is the pessimistic aspect. So pessimistic component of attitude, which is just the negative side of your attitude. Negative. Everything about you is negative. Everything negative about life, negative about every single thing. Pessimistic. We're going to talk more about the pessimistic attitudes right after this short break.
When they say the truth is bitter, well, we make facts funny. Right here, we talk about everything you need to know. Out with the old and in with the new. This is Fun Facts, only on Sunshine TV. When they say the truth is bitter, well, we make facts funny. Right here, we talk about everything you need to know. Out with the old and in with the new. This is Fun Facts, only on Sunshine TV. When they say the truth is bitter, well, we make facts funny.
Alrighty.
Right.
Welcome back. We are still talking your attitudes towards life determines your altitude. Very, very important. Very important if you ask me. It's very, very important. Yes. So we're talking about the pessimistic component of attitude, or maybe the pessimistic type of attitudes. We've already looked at the first one, which is very the optimistic type, and of course we've got now the pessimistic type. So these things are just like intertwined. So yeah, when somebody has a pessimistic approach towards life, is that they have a negative perception of everything. Wait, can we go for a job interview? No. Yeah, we can go, but I don't think this will pull through. Why? And there are people like that. There are people that you know that are like that. There are people that are just always negative about anything. Wait, I'm thinking of this business. Can it that business, we've seen it before, it can't work. Negative. And those people, you should be very careful with them. Boy, I'm thinking of this thing. I'm thinking, will it work? All they will tell you is the negative, should be very, very careful with those people, because those people tend to stress you a lot, because nothing in them, nothing of course around them works. I've heard people have a very famous saying. They say ati ni mavuto etinakula nayo. That is very wrong. That's a very wrong attitude. It's a very, very wrong attitude towards life. Why? Because it clusters your belief. Remember, attitude is also about belief. It's also about feelings, and it's also about behavior. So it's about how you feel at that point when you believe in it, and then it becomes a thing that you're doing every day. It becomes a behavior. So how do these things that we just say sometimes become part of our lives? I know I am nakula nayo. What? How would? Why sunga kambekwa is in Indian drama zetinakula nazo? You have that thing, have that attitude. But when you start saying no, I am nakula nayo, you realize that you will be going through the same thing over and over and over and over. Why? Because you've not worked on your attitudes. The other side is also true, the biblical part, or maybe those people that do biblical things will even tell these I don't want to dive into the biblical aspect, because let me just talk on the psychological part. So when people begin to surround themselves with pessimistic ideas towards life and towards everything, then nothing is moving. People that are negative, people that have got a very bad attitude towards life, you can give them anything, but there will be no results. There will literally be no results at all. Why? Because at the back of their mind, always they are thinking this thing is going to fail at some point. They know that it's going to fail. Somebody is getting married, and what they're thinking about is, so this my man who's going to cheat one day. Very negative, very, very negative thoughts towards life. You're going to a job interview, what you are thinking about is because this is how my life has been. Attitudes, very, very important. There are things that are not going to come to your aid. There are things that are not going to come to your disposal because you've not cultivated a very good attitude. Attitude is very, very important. Very, very important. We should stress this one out. Attitude is very important. Things that you are going to actually get a hold of, you are going to keep them based on what values you have as a person, what beliefs you've set as a person, not because you have got good English, not because you've got good grammar, not because you're a beautiful lady, not because you're a handsome guy that people are going to stay around you. No, they're going to stay or stick because of attitude. Very, very important. You're going to keep jobs because of attitudes. You're going to keep associates because of attitudes. You're going to maintain connections because of attitudes. No one wants to be associated with people that are always negative about life. Always negative. When you talk to them, it's negativity. And you will agree with me. You have people, you have friends that are like that. Say, if this person calls me right now, they're just going to start telling me, no, boy, this. Such people we should be very careful of. And of course, you remember, attitude is not something that is a dead end. A bad attitude is not a dead end. It can be changed. Of course, I understand maybe because of how life has treated a person, so they just have this bad route towards life. But it's something that you can work on and change, because you know what? Once you carry that bad attitude, once you carry it, people are going to name you with that. It's very, very common. It's very common, and it's very bad when people start addressing you like that. It means you have clustered yourself. You've clustered. There is a certain limit that you cannot go beyond. Everybody has got problems, but their attitudes towards your problem, your attitudes towards your problem will determine whether that problem is solved or that problem will still remain unsolved. There are other people that you wouldn't know. Why? Because they've actually adopted a good attitude towards life, so they have this positive mindset towards whatever it is that they are doing. But there are people that are just so negative. Pessimistic is not really a good place to be at. If you've got somebody who, if you know there's this, let's try to help one another. This is a very bad component of behavior, and of course we need to be at a place where we start helping each other, because if you cannot cultivate a very good attitude, then it means everything around you is going to be falling apart. You hear people crying, no, me men will come and go, and jobs will come and go, things will come and go. It's like things just come and slip in my hands. Have you looked at your attitudes? Have you cultivated a positive attitude towards whatever it is that you actually plan to do? Do you feel like doing it, or you're just doing it for the sake of let me just do it? If you're doing it for the sake of let me just do it, then it's going to be hard. Let it be something that comes from towards our own lives, and of course towards everything around us. Okay, let me actually just get to go on a break, and then once I come back, we get talking a lot more, and then we close the show. I'll be right back after this short break.
All foods. Situated in the central business district of Livingstone is Honey Fruit Paradise. We are at Livingstone City Market, the ground floor, next to the banking mall. Our products in stock include natural honey, activated honey combo, activated alkaline honey combo, and assorted herbal spices. Our products have many health benefits, which include immune system boosting, balancing of cholesterol levels, balancing of sugar levels, improving of food digestion, and improving of libido in both men and women. For more information on what we have in stock, you can simply call on us on 0977 545 681. Honey Fruit Paradise, the healing power of foods.
Welcome back. We are still tuned into Fun Facts, and of course we are talking about attitude. Your attitudes towards life determines your altitude at the end of the day. Your resultant force is the attitude. Attitude, very, very important. The attitude is very important, because we know if somebody has got a very bad attitude, then it means a lot of things are going to just slip out. So things to understand when we're actually dealing with attitudes. Number one, we are talking about feelings. Emotions are very important, and it's very cardinal for us to understand. Okay, I think I seem to have somebody who is trying to get a hold of us. Please make sure that your phone is on landscape, and let's get talking like that. Yeah, otherwise we're talking about attitudes. We're still going to get to you. Of course, we are talking about attitudes. Make sure your phone is on landscape, and of course you are where it's not noisy, so that we can get you clear and direct. Of course. So yeah, talking about attitudes, we have to understand something very important. Feelings, or the emotional part of our being, is very important that we understand it. It's very important that we become emotionally aware of ourselves. Let's know when is the limit. Hey Mape.
Hi, Clarence. How's it going over there this morning?
We're all good. How is it going?
Oh, great. I think I'm having a good day so far.
That's
Grateful.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, talk to me.
Indeed.
Your thoughts on today's topic: attitudes and altitudes towards life.
Very, very important. And I think it's one of the things that we usually neglect.
Very true.
So attitude is, it involves how you respond to things and how you decide to handle it. And I think personally, ever since I learned that my attitude towards things and towards life in general will determine the outcome, has really helped me ever since, I came to learn that. So when you give it a positive attitude, even the results are positive.
Yeah.
So when your attitude is negative, you won't really expect anything good to come out of anything. So I learned something from somewhere. I can't remember where, but I learned that every time you are faced with a situation, good or whatever it may be, you ask yourself a question: what is this teaching me? And how best can I respond to this?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
also, it's about taking time to think, to reflect, and to decide. Usually, when you give it time, you will realize that you will take the right steps, you will make the right response.
Decision.
But anything that you act out of impulse, immediately somebody says something to you, you are thinking of how to respond back, you will spoil everything. But
Exactly.
if your attitude is that of taking time, thinking through, asking yourself
Why?
how best you can respond to that, such that you don't leave damages afterwards, it
Yeah.
really helps.
Very true.
Attitude. What are you putting out there?
Very
I think
important.
that is the biggest question we need to ask.
Very important.
Every time you take a step, how is it going to help me as a person? How is it going to help the next person?
Exactly.
So very important. Something we should always wake up. Um, a question we should always wake up to. So you say, right now things are hard for me. I'm not employed, but what can I do? Because when you sit back and begin to blame and cry and weep,
Nothing's changing.
it just destroys you further. Yes. But if you give it a positive attitude, you see how people ask to say, have you noticed that person with everything they've gone through? You meet them, they are ever smiling, they're happy because
Exactly.
people's expectations are to see you crying and worried and depressed. And depression is real. So
Very
if you
real.
don't give life, right attitude, uh, depression is right by your doorstep, just waiting to strike.
Very true. Well, yeah, thanks very much for those thoughts, Mape. Thank you so much for coming through. Thank you so much. And have yourself a good day. And of course, hoping you're enjoying Fun Facts.
Thank you so much. I am enjoying, I am following, and thank you for bringing this educative topic this morning.
Thank you very much for getting interactive. And of course, you can still do the same.
Thank
You can still get interactive with us, and of course, just get to share your thoughts. If you can't do it for on a video call, or maybe if you can't be online, you can still send through your comments, and of course, we'll be getting to actually read them out loud, and of course, just get interactive with you like that. Otherwise, we are talking about attitude, very very important. Mape, thank you very much for those insights. It's really 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 important. So I was talking about feelings, the component, one aspect of attitudes and behaviors is feelings. We have to be at a point where we understand, we are emotionally aware of ourselves. Know when things are not okay around within you, because this is something that happens within you. When somebody says something about you or something about you, how you are going to take that thing is very very important. So we should be very much emotionally aware of ourselves and also our beliefs. Let's learn things that we want to believe on. Let's learn things that we want to inculcate in ourselves as beliefs. It's very very important. People have got certain notions that are very wrong, and you that's why you're seeing things come and just go. You believe that men will not stay. You believe that men will always cheat. You believe that jobs is always going to come and go. You believe you're not good enough. You believe you cannot go an extra mile. You believe things around you will just come and go. That is why things keep happening like that. Why? It's cause of your belief. Attitude is very important. So once you start changing that aspect of your life, once you start looking in a different trajectory, then you are at the right course of life. Belief is very very important. Things that you are inculcating in you, things that you're actually getting to feed yourself on, is very very important. If you're going to have a negative trajectory towards life, then it means even your results at the end of the day, or how you are going to behave or act like, it's going to be very negative. Why? Because your innermost person is based on negativity. You are always just saying wrong things about you. The opposite is also true. Once you start believing on good thoughts, you begin to have good thoughts. Okay, I can do it. I can make a difference. I can still go an extra mile. People can still come in my life and appreciate the value that I bring to the table. People can still appreciate who I am, and things are going to align like that. Why? Because of belief. Attitude is very very important. At work, at home, at play, at church, anywhere, your attitude determines either people will want to be with you, around you, or people will just want to leave you and just stay away from you like that. It's very, very important. So please, let's get to learn attitude. How do you change attitude? It's very simple. Understand yourself. Be emotionally aware of yourself, your beliefs. Have good beliefs. Begin to tell yourselves good beliefs, and of course you are going to see that your attitude towards life is going to change. You can even have a vision board. Have a vision board where you just write positive things about anything, positive things. Just stick it somewhere, and then every time, maybe when you wake up, you are reading those things, or maybe on your phone, every time you open your phone, there's just good messages there. You are reading them. In time, you're getting to change your belief system. In time, everything is getting to be rejuvenated, and before you realize it, you would have cultivated a very, very positive attitude. Otherwise, the truth is also this: life can kick you to and from. People will expect to see you cry because things are hard on you, but hey, you can still work on your attitude and still wake up with your head held high. Why? Because you realize that something is in you and something is great in you, and that thing only needs the right atmosphere, and that right atmosphere is only your attitude. Work on your attitudes and everything is going to respond. Your attitudes towards life determines your altitudes. Very, very important. That was our fun fact for today, but otherwise I'm thinking time is beating me to the score. I have to say my bye-byes. It's really been amazing. Please, let's keep the conversation going. Of course, your comment section, we can always get interactive like that on our Facebook page. It's Sunshine Studios. Let's get interactive. Let's talk about this thing. Let's get to help each other, and let's help out one another. Ask questions and let's get answering like that on our Facebook page, and of course even on YouTube. We'll actually still keep the conversation going even when we are, even when this program is being wrapped. You can still just go to our comment section and comment, and let's see how best we can respond to one another. Otherwise, attitude is very, very important. Things are going to come and go for as long as you cultivate a bad attitude. Have a good attitude towards life in general, and everything will have a smooth sailing. I'm Clarence, and of course this has been Fun Fact. Have myself an amazing time. To my director, Mr. Bernard Gani, thank you so much, sir, for making this production a success. And of course, to everybody who's always locked on, you, I see you. I say big shout outs to you. Thank you very much for always making Sunshine TV your preferred destination for everything that you actually have to know. Otherwise, I have to head out. It's been a blessing to be here. Hope you've been educated. Hope we've had ourselves some time to just learn and build ourselves. Let's get to cultivate a positive attitude towards life, towards everything around us, and of course things are going to move smoothly. Your attitudes towards life determines your altitude. I've been Clarence, and I have to say my bye-bye. It's God bless. See you next time. I'm out.
Back up.